So first I ask this. Tell me about Joe Jeff, the soul of Joe Jeff, since this is
Hmm.
Soul Bridge.
It is, and we got to stay on brand. So, um, so with that, I would say,
And we talked for a half hour about his journey and his life experiences. And that was delightful. And we still may end up using that. But then I asked, if you just told me a lot about your experiences
yeah,
and your journey,
right,
but I would like to know more about like who you are, not what you've
yeah,
experienced, if that makes sense.
yeah. No, 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 no. That's
Like
that's that's
like
very valid.
yeah, like your soul, like what are your
Hmm.
qualities? I know you talked about like, wanting to leadership was a big important
Hmm.
thing. And you talked about kind of trying to feel out what you want to do with your life or why you here.
Hmm.
And that's when we struck gold. Who are you?
Yeah,
Not what
yeah.
have you experienced.
So I would say who I am is just like at the crux of me is like just a big heart, right? It's about for me it's about love. It's about leading with love, whether it's family, whether it's strangers, whether it's what I'm saying. And that don't necessarily mean like, being, soft or just being overly like passive or whatever. It's about like being intentional about I'm coming into this interaction and I'm treating you like we're the same person, right? I'm treating you like I'm
Mm,
looking at myself in another form. So that's going to go with how I listen to you. That's going to go with how I talk to you, how I treat you. If I have something for you, if I can help you along your way, if I could just be an ear. So that's where it starts with me. It's with the heart, um, heart, mind. I feel like I consider myself to be like a cerebral person. I love asking questions um, to expand and like I love learning about others because like I said before, I'm learning about you, I'm learning something about me. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Whether it's now or whether it's something that's going to be exposed in the future, whether it's something that's related to my past. So these connections are enriching and they're like this is what I'm looking for. I just and I'm sure you can attest to it because that's I'm seeing how you move and it's like just that I don't even want to call it an urge, but that appetite for like, hey, let's connect heart to heart, mind to mind, like what you got, like what you going through, you know what I'm saying? And like
mm.
and there being able to, whether it's link up and get closer to our goals. Other than that, um, other than that, I would say after that, I just love laughing, like joy, joy. You can't spell Joey without joy. Write that down.
Hey.
No, but like I mean, and I think it's you know just all my interactions, family, friends, strangers alike. It's just that basis of like trying to live with like pure joy and like finding the laughter in the situations. You know what I mean? Finding, you know, just being able because it's so healing, right? Laughing is so healing, right? Being able to and that what it does to us inside, and it's just like that's part of who I am. Like it's Joe got jokes. I'm gonna keep one in a holster. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's a big part of my identity. Like I said, the love, the cerebral, the joy, the laughter. Um, there's a creative artist um, aspect to who I am, and like we spoke about like the music and whatnot. Drums, trumpet. Being in high school, like we all had to sing. So I'm not a singer, but I'm a singer. So all of that. But even that expanding creatively or artistically past just music or past, just playing the instrument is to like, you know, how I'm feeling music and how I look to create. So I'm looking to create music and past music. I'm also interested in like creating, you know, other works. I don't want to. I feel like content is such a cheap word for some of the things that we look to accomplish, but being able to put out, artistic pieces that, whether that come with an emotional connection, right? So whether it's provoking thought, whether it's something to get a laugh, whether it's something that's just warm and feel good, you know what I'm saying, tying those things together through the art, which which speaks languages that we can never, with our mouths and with our, you know what I'm saying. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with it. And think I think the last layer I want to throw in for the sake of conversation is like and this is part of love, but like the romance part of it. Like um, I've been I've been how I say it, in my formative years, right? I'm a I'm gonna get real Philly. I was a gentleman that had zero bitches growing up, right? And this is and I'm sorry for anybody who's hearing me use this language and it's foreign to you, but there is something that I needed to convey, right? But um, just and this is part of, like, we spoke to my experience, but I'll tie it into how it's part of me, but having to learn, and then, it always starts with self-esteem, right? Self-esteem, learning to like, um, learning to converse with women, learning to interact with them, and I don't even want to say understand, because I mean, if you know somebody that understands women, point them my way, because I have a bevy of questions I would like to ask them. But um, just just my maturation in those areas, and like, like I said, and I'm gonna keep going back to it. Like I grew up in a great home where, like, I saw love in my household between my mother and father, right? I saw it between my grandparents, extended family,
Mm.
right? I'm talking like, it ain't exactly Huxtable, but it's like it's the same brand, right? The same brand where it's
Hey,
like,
that's
you know what
beautiful.
I mean? Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful thing, and I don't take it for granted for 1 second, because it saved, it probably saved me a world of hurt. It probably saved me a world of, like, misunderstandings and whatnot. Just having that strong of an example. So then, like, fast forward to just everything I learned. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in a relationship now, a beautiful relationship, a fruitful relationship that has really enriched me. Like, what I'm saying, finding a great partner is like a beautiful thing. Finding somebody to journey with, it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, that's to kind of wrap it up, and like what makes up my soul. We breaking that down into fractions, like, heart, mind, joy, um, and love, and romance, however you want to crack it. But like, I feel like those are kind of the big tenets,
I love the way you describe that, and I can attest from what I've
Mm-hmm.
known that
Mm-hmm.
it all makes a lot of sense. It all sticks. It all comes together.
Yeah.
Um, and so I do want to, talk about the heart and the joy. I think are the two things that stuck out to
Gotcha.
me because
Yeah.
we met in sixth grade, and
Mm-hmm.
for my memories, yeah, it's like always laughing, giggling, making jokes,
Yeah.
and just cool and chilling. Like I feel
Right. Right.
like you
Right. Right.
I don't remember like Joe ever being too angry
Facts.
or just too
Yeah.
anything. Just like cool, you know what I mean? Just like you
Yeah.
was cool. You was cool laughing or whatever. And you talked about kind of your journey to grow self-esteem. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the journey has kind of led you to be more you, to
Yeah.
understand you more in a deeper
Mm-hmm.
sense of way. And I want to talk about both of these, but first I want to talk about, so where did this like heart and this joy come from? Was this got from your family? Was this like past lifetimes that you just accumulated? Because I can almost like see you as
Yeah.
like a coming out the womb as a baby, just
Yeah.
giggling, happy.
Hugs. Come
I
on,
like
bring it in.
yeah, like
Fresh
you
out
know
the
what I
womb,
mean.
bring it in.
But yeah, like where did that come from? Like just the
Um,
happiness.
I think it starts at home first. You know what I'm saying? Being being in an environment where it's like prevalent and we have the space and the capacity to like show that, right? We're seeing like we're having, great experiences at home with our family. We have friends, and like these are all like positive, loving relationships and whatnot. And it's probably, I don't know, some of it probably is connected to like the religious upbringing in terms of just golden rule, right? Treat people how you want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? Just focusing on the positivity and connecting and uplifting. So I think that's where it came. That was the foundation of it. And then just I think why it was maintained and why it became intentional was because how it made me felt, how it made the people that were involved in it felt. You know what I'm saying? They're like that's like a frequency. That's like I think love is the ultimate frequency. I'm not the expert, but that's probably the one of the more pure where it's just like bliss. And it could be a 2-minute conversation with somebody, but like just bliss. You know, so I think that's where it came from, and I just think became a little more intentional about it, and like seeking that out in others. And I think it's also it's it's a healing frequency, right? Because and I think the difference is, like I said, we talk about the foundation, and I go up in that, and then I go out into the world, right? And I see different things, right? I see people who are more hardened, right? They may be a little more, they may not have access to that part of them, so they may move different. And I've seen a difference in even being able to like convict some people, see people change and whatnot throughout that process. It's like it's powerful. It's powerful.
I love that. It seems like you grew up in a loving environment,
Mhm.
and so you got that experience, and then you realize, wow, like love feels great. Like being happy and
Yeah.
joyful is a wonderful thing. Let me lead throughout my life with this energy
Right.
because it feels amazing. Like
Exactly. Right.
makes
Simple
sense. Simple,
concept, right?
simple, yeah, simple enough, right? Right. And then so let's talk about you like gaining more self-esteem. As you said,
hmm
growing up, got no
hmm
bitches. And then as which can be expanded on maybe in the future.
Yeah.
And and then so what was the process for you of like, you know, gaining more
Yeah.
self-esteem and realizing like, yo, no, like I'm a great human being. Let me just gain a little bit more confidence or whatever
hmm
the case may be, so I can step into my true power or a more powerful version of myself, and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
vibrate with people in a way that things may go better for what you're looking for, maybe.
Exactly. I think it started with confidence to change like changing my confidence. And I am going to backtrack for a second. I know we being jokeful and kind of tongue in cheek, but women are not bitches. I do not believe that. You are all God's children, and I think it'd be a such. But for the sake of reference, I said what I said. But in terms, so for me, it was a confidence thing, right? Because it was times where I knew like, okay, like, meet somebody, like the connection, like, connection is cool, we laughing, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, what's the next step, right? And a lot of times I feel like early on when you have part of the piece, conversational, kind, all that good stuff, but you don't know how to transmute that, you end up in the friend zone, right? A lot of times. And it's two places nobody wants to be, hell in the friend zone, right? And I spent I spent a good amount of but like it was confidence, right? Because physically I'm overweight, still handsome in the face, but what I'm saying, overweight. So I was probably getting in my own head before they, what I'm saying, before they had. So I wouldn't even, a lot of times I wouldn't be aggressive enough or like, intentional enough to, try to make a move or try to push it further along. So, and then in college, I mentioned like in college, I was equipment manager with the ball team. So like I got in the best shape of my life. So that kind of helped trigger, excuse me, to like bridge the gap from, okay, I got this side of the game down, you know what I'm saying? But I just needed to match it. And it's really, I just needed to match it internally. Because
Mm.
there's times where I go back and look on situations and it's like, nah, like you had that in the bag, you just didn't realize it because you didn't think that you could. So, and that's why, you know what I'm saying? That's why it turned out the way it did. So being able to like bridge the gap and just like, okay, now I don't feel like an imposter. Now I feel like I fit the part of a good human, a charming human, all this good stuff, fit for, you know, love and romance and all this other stuff. So it clicked a little more. Um, it clicked a little more than and like, you know, I was able to be a little bit sure of myself and my movements and like kind of judicious with how I was moving and whatnot. You know, being intentional and still understand that like I still I think a lot of it, especially early on, you know, like formative years, especially when you get into, you know, them hormones kicking in and you start, you know, taking an interest in the opposite sex, right? You are where you are, and you may look at other people who seem to be having success in that realm, and you're like, damn, like what do they have that like I don't like? So is it, do I need to mimic the like jokes, the personality? Do I need to be like a little edgy? Do I need to be, you know, like a bad boy? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a good Christian Joe Jeff, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I mean, that don't look like what the market is going for right now. Do I need to like, you know what I'm saying, switch it up? But so I feel like just coming to understand over time that it's like, no, like this different strokes for different folks, right? So, you know what I'm saying? You know, you have people that are built some ways and some people you know built other ways. I think my biggest breakthrough was like, no, like you're fine how you are. You don't need to change. You don't need to like, you know what I'm saying, do any other stuff. Just stick to your plan, right? Stick to your playbook. You know what I'm saying? In the words of LeVar Ball, stay in your lane. You know what I mean? You don't want to. I don't need to be trying to do this if that's not my game. Stick here and then. And in college, I think another thing that I kind of realized or come to learn was like, you know, there's you know going, you know, seeking and going after, you know, what women or people, and then it's, you know, presenting yourself and being available for them to see and like kind of attract them. So, you know, going out versus like attracting and kind of wrapping my mind around, okay, well, I don't gotta like just be you, be here, be available, and see, you know what I'm saying, see who's on your type time. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And even like as I got older, right, you know, you start going out to clubs and bars and stuff, right? And I think they should do like a Nat Geo documentary on like how men and women interact in like social settings, especially, you know, alcohol, music, all that involved. It's lust in the air. You can feel it. It's like, dude, it's just, you know what I mean? But getting in those situations and going from being like, you know, on the thirsty side of the game, which, oh, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Versus like, yo, let me just take a step back and like, you know what I'm saying, interact with like, who's looking at me? Like who, you know what I'm saying? Who's, and that was another perspective shift versus like,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying, you know, you trying to go out there and wrangle everything versus like, who just happened to be in your vicinity and just keep making eye contact or like, you know what I'm saying? Because I think, whether we know it or not, this a certain amount of psychic ability we all demonstrate where it's like, you know, you catch somebody's eye and it's like, oh, you can feel the energy coming off. I'm like, oh, okay, that seemed like a, you know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, you know, a little inquisitive, and then you go dive in deeper or whatever. But yeah, that's how that came about in terms of the maturation.
Cool. That's mad interesting. Yeah, it seems like first, you got in a little better shape, which
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
just a
yeah.
confidence booster. And
Yep.
then you just kind of over time tweak the approach and started learning things a little here and
Indeed.
there, and That's cool. So I want to end this with my last question of
Hmm.
being, what is your purpose on earth? What do you feel is your purpose in this life as Joe Jeff is? It's a hard
Hmm.
question, putting you
Yeah.
on the spot, but
Yeah.
what we here for.
Um, I think the purpose first off is just to love. Like at the end of the day, if I don't do nothing else, just like whoever you're around, whoever you come across, just have some love for them and let that lead to interactions, right? That's first and foremost. Second, I would say is to like my purpose is to um honor my family name, honor everything that has been done before me to get me to where I am today. You know what I'm saying? And that's just in terms of like pushing, doing everything I can to support the family, right? To push the family forward, to take the next generation, give them the tools, spread, pass the stories on, all that good stuff. That's part of it. Um, and I, I think me personally, and based off like a lot of the interactions I have, it's just like I feel like part of my purpose is to like just be there to, I don't want to say like help free people, but like help people understand that like there is another level of like personal freedom, like up here, the freedom in your heart, like peace in your heart, right? Because we all, oh my goodness, like the things that we've been through, things that our friends and family have been through. Like it's some heavy stuff. We haven't even cracked the surface of like some of these neighborhoods we've grown up in, and some of these, whether financial situations, and just it's a lot, and it weighs on us, right? It weighs on us. It takes our joy from us, and so for me personally, being able to connect with somebody, and whether it's through the peace in my heart or whether it's through whatever conviction I have, is to just be able to like help them soften up, right? Soften your heart a little bit, because and we've had, I think we've all had experiences where like you might come across somebody and they might be hardened, and they might just be like, you know just cynical. Life is, what is life about, blah blah blah. And it's like, and I've seen through interactions, I've seen those people soften up over time, right? You get them laughing, like the way you treat them, right? You being genuinely caring, you genuinely, you know what I'm saying? And you can see just a little bit of change, right? You don't know how they change them when they leave, but just from, oh, like, I'll give you an example, working with people in Houston, older lady, um, just real like, I don't even want to say mean, but just real like stoic, straightforward. Like, she ain't with the small talk, she ain't with the
No, no nonsense.
no nonsense, right? Not only no nonsense, but like there's some people where you be like you just woke up angry. You know what I'm saying? Or
Mm,
whether it's
yeah,
angry,
yeah,
whether
yeah.
it's like hurt, whether it's unfulfilled, whatever it is, it's like you're carrying this with you on a regular basis. And like, by all means, I don't know any and everybody's situation, so it's easy to say, hey, just have a little bit more joy in your life. You know what I'm saying? Just,
Chill out.
yeah, yeah,
Relax.
yeah, have a cup of joe and smile. Like, yeah, it's easy to say that, right? But we all going through different things. So like, and I saw her, be the way she was, and like just little interaction over time, right? Is that one person you say hi to them like 10 mornings in a row, and like they look at you like, why are you talking to me? And then, by the 15th morning, like you get a nod back. By the 20th morning, like it's how you doing? A month later, it's a conversation. 2 months, you see them from the crowd.
Busting it up,
Just
right?
exactly. So just that progression in terms of like being able to, you know what I'm saying, just be there for people. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's
Mm,
be a brother, be an ear, be a kind face, be a helping hand, something to give them a sign that like, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Because for me, like I said, a lot of things I feel I encounter are reflections of like, what's going on within me or what's like, so, you know, you get caught in the jam and somebody there to lend you a hand, you like, oh my goodness, God is real. Like how, you know what I'm saying? So I seek to try to be that, that way. I was like, okay, no, God is still working out here. Like it's still, you know what I'm saying? Still some people and they be coming all different shapes, sizes, and forms, but like there's something in us, there's that light in us that's like it's going to try to help you on your journey, try to lighten your load, try to just remind you that hey, like he's still out there. It's still a force out there that's like working for our good and working for us. And that's what I'm saying. That's that.
Hey, the soul of Joe Jeff. That was like
And the experience. We got a little roundabout on the front end, but I feel like it all helped formulate and put together like who I've become. But yeah, man, this is me.
well, I appreciate. There was also some sermon aspect in there. I got some good
A little
some
bit.
game, as you
Yeah.
shall say. That was
Indeed.
enjoyable for me. Hopefully for every and anybody watching. Um, See y'all next
Indeed.
time. Appreciate you, brother.
Holla. Appreciate you, bro. Catch you soon.